The Browns, this is actually my second take. My mic wasn't working. The Browns play the Vikings in London tomorrow, so we will talk about it in just one moment here after I play the intro, which I messed up. Wow, shocker. All right, welcome back to Browns Breakdowns here. Proud partners for Els Network, Fans for Sports Network. And don't forget, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters right here. Bing, 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 bing. We get 50%, 15% of what you pay. So thank you to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters for everything they do. It'll be the best coffee you'll ever have. And maybe you'll need it for waking up when it's 6:30 in the morning to watch your Cleveland Browns play. Now, on the topic of the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns play the Vikings in London. Basically, what you could consider our only prime time game this season. They play the Vikings in London, like I just said. So let's talk first about the injuries. Then we'll do keys to the game. Then we'll do ads, and I'll talk about Dylan Gabriel's after that. So first up, we have the injury report. Now, the Browns don't have a whole lot of injuries. Now, that can't be said for the Minnesota Vikings, who have like 8 million. First up, we only have 3. Jack Conklin, questionable, limited all 3 days. He is questionable. Actually, it was full practice on Friday. Mike Hall, limited Wednesday, DNP Thursday, Friday. He is officially out. And then Greg Newsome, limited Thursday, Friday. He is questionable. And so only 3 injuries. I think Greg and Conklin will probably play this game. I don't think they won't. I think that'll be both game time, put them in. I don't think they'll be out. Now, you can't say the same thing for the Vikings, who have like 8 injuries. First up is offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw. DNP Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, wait, no, he's in. Never mind. Donovan Jackson, the guard, DNP all 3 days out. And this goes for all the out players, by the way. All the out players I'm going to mention, all DNPs all 3 days. So Michael Juergens, guard, out. He is out. Well, obviously. Ryan Kelly, out. J.J. McCarthy is out. Brian O'Neill, offensive tackle, out. Also, by the way, Ryan Kelly is the center. Brian O'Neill, like I said, out. And Andrew Van Ginkel is out as well. He is an outside linebacker. And then Ben Urasek, the tight end, DNP Wednesday, Thursday, and limited Friday. He is questionable. Full practice all 3 days for Tyler Batty, the linebacker. He is questionable. And then CJ Ham, the fullback, full practice all 3 days. He is also questionable. So, like you could see there, the Vikings have a whole lot of problems with their offensive line in terms of injuries, which brings us to the key I'm going to talk about in a minute. But they correlate. But yeah, I mean, only a few injuries, and I mean the Vikings have a lot, especially on that offensive line, which I think is very important. And I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that the Vikings have that many injuries. I'm just surprised because I mean injuries are so frequent in the NFL. I'm not surprised they have like that capacity of injuries. I'm just surprised like 6 of them are offensive line. It feels like it's only like 3, but I mean it feels like all of them are offensive line, and it's definitely going to be a problem for the Vikings is dealing with multiple offensive linemen injured. And I mean, who knows what will happen in the game, right? They might lose another one. And so that right there will bring us to the keys of the game. We'll talk about the keys, do our ads, and then obviously talk about Gabriel, since he's kind of the hot topic here in the Browns, is him getting his start for the first time in the NFL against the Vikings there in London. So first key I have for the game, and probably the biggest one, is pressure. And what I mean by that is they have obviously a very beat-up offensive line. They have Carson Wentz starting for quarterback. Drill this offensive line with all your defensive players, whether that be blitzing, maybe sending a safety around the outside to try and get a free blitzer, and just pressure this offensive line into oblivion. Because, I mean, this offensive line is beaten. You've got backups. You've got people who have not a whole lot of game time right now in the NFL in terms of playing as an offensive lineman. I say pressure, 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 pressure. And don't forget, they also have Carson Wentz, who's very old and probably isn't as mobile or as quick or as speedy as he usually is. And so, yeah, I think that's one of the most important parts of this game is going to be getting pressure and really ruining the day of Carson Wentz. And I think, and I mean, the Browns historically have like 6 interceptions against Carson Wentz in like 3 games. And so, I mean, maybe that will stay. But yes, I mean, pressuring the quarterback and really wrecking this offensive line will be extremely important in winning this football game. Number 2 is going to be pretty obvious, barely even needs to be said. Guard Justin Jefferson. Because, I mean, you can make the argument, and I think he probably is. I don't even know if there is an argument, the best wide receiver in the NFL. There's not really much people who are better than him. And so I'd say whatever you have to do, guard Justin Jefferson, because it doesn't matter if you get 6 free blitzers and Carson Wentz is out of position. If Justin Jefferson has 6 yards separation and is 30 yards down the field and it's a free touchdown, I mean, you're going to have trouble the rest of the game or the whole game. So, yeah, I definitely think holding Justin Jefferson will be very important. And the Browns have done decently at holding wide receivers to poor games. And so I think that is probably the most important, or not the most important, the second most important thing. Whatever you have to do, right? Whether you double team him every play or have a zone specifically dedicated to watching him, and or you and like you have a zone that's specifically dedicated to following him throughout his route, right? You might be playing zone, but you put a specific man to run man coverage on Justin Jefferson just to get that double team in there if necessary. Whether you have to just have the whole defense warped around watching Jefferson. Maybe you pull a linebacker further away from the offensive line in order to give him a better chance of covering Justin Jefferson when he runs by. Whatever you have to do, I think it's very important because, again, Justin Jefferson is amazing and he will be a threat no matter who is at quarterback. He always will be a threat to your defense and he needs to be paid attention to and locked down. And finally, the third one is don't pressure Gabriels. And what I mean by that is not like, I mean, don't give him plays he can't handle, right? I think he's new, he's young. I mean, I know the college football game, right? You still experience these things in college football, but the speed, the intensity, the complication of an NFL game can get overwhelming for a young quarterback. And so building plays, right, where you've got a tight end going over the middle, you've got a wide receiver running a corner on the left, then you've got your running back running a wheel route onto the right side of the field, and you've got another wide receiver on the right side of the field running a drag route, right? You've got four moving parts. You've got 3 receivers or 2 receivers, a tight end, and your running back. You've got 4 moving parts all running to different sections of the field, right? You've got the drag, the over the middle route, the corner route, the wheel route, right? You're watching like 8 million different sections of the field. You're paying attention to the defense, the defensive line. Are you being pressured? Do you have to run? All that can get into your head and be very intense for a rookie quarterback. So what I mean is just don't put him into situations you don't think he can handle. And maybe he can handle them all, right? I mean, I don't know. But I think it is very important to keep him out of situations that may be very hard for someone of his experience, right? A rookie quarterback who has never started a game, because there will be a lot of pressure. And so keep that pressure as little on him as possible. And don't forget, I mean, he has good talent around him. If he has a decent play caller. He can always just hand the ball off to Quinshon Judkins. He can always just dump it off to Fannin or Njoku. I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of problems, but just don't put him into situations that may be very intense and difficult for someone of his age and experience. So let's talk about the ads. I mean, let's not talk about them in terms of like me talking about them. Let's play the ads, and we will talk about Dillon Gabriels and anything else about him in just 1 second. All right, we are back on Browns breakdowns. So, Dylan Gabriel's the hot topic here of the Browns. He is starting for his first time in the NFL. He will be playing the whole game, hopefully, as the starter, which is obviously, he's not the first time playing in the NFL, but he's the first time starting in the NFL. And so, like I just mentioned in the keys, don't put too much pressure on him. But I think Gabriel's has a lot of capabilities in this offense, right? And I've said this multiple times. I said this on the Thursday. I think I said this Wednesday. Is you've got a lot of things that he can rely on, right? You've got Judkins, right? He can hand off the ball if he ever has a moment where he needs to. He can hand off the ball, right? He can give it to Judkins. Judkins will get a few yards, and it won't be a wasted play. He's got Njoku and Fannin, right? And tight ends have historically been very important and integral for a rookie quarterback because they're a good dump off player, right? You just throw the ball to the drag route over the middle and you get 4 or 5 yards, and it's low risk, low pressure, and he's just always there, right? So he's just running. You just, I mean, it's barely even a pass. It's more of just a flick, right, to the tight end, and you get a few yards, and it's safe. It's easy. It doesn't require a whole lot of moving parts, right? There's no double steps or choice routes or crazy things. It's just a simple route. And so you've got Fannin and Njoku to help him. And then what I think personally is the most important is he's got a good defense behind him. And what this means is, let's say he makes a mistake, right? Which will happen, right? I mean, he will make a mistake or two or many, I don't know. But you as a rookie quarterback, you don't not make mistakes. It always happens. I mean, heck, even people like Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, they all still must make mistakes all the time. And it's perfectly normal. And so he's got a good defense, a very good defense, one of the best, if not the best, defense in the NFL behind him to help nullify any mistakes he may make, right? Let's say he throws an interception on the 38-yard line in enemy territory. They bring it back to the 42. That defense, right, this really, really good defense, stops them in 7 plays. They kick a field goal, right? Maybe they don't even kick a field goal. You've got a defense that is capable of helping your mistakes cost less, right? Now, if you're playing for someone else with a worse defense, you throw that interception at the 42, right? The opposing teams at the 42, they just drive down and score. And so it turns out that interception costed 7 points. But with a great defense behind you, that isn't as much of a problem. And so I definitely would say that having a great defense behind you is going to be very, very helpful because he might feel a little less pressure, right? Because some of the rookies might think, all right, I have to be perfect. Otherwise, they're just going to score on us every single time I make a mistake. That gets you in your head. You start to create this artificial pressure on yourself, and then you make more mistakes than you would originally. And then it costs more than it should have, right? And then it kind of snowballs into losing confidence, and it can become a large problem. But when you have a defense behind you that you can trust, right? Dylan Gabriel's can trust this defense into, and so he can be like, all right, maybe I'll take a little bit more of a risk because even if it doesn't work out, even if we have to punt, I know this defense behind me can help and can stop the opposing offense and get me back on the field, right? And so I think that's going to be very important. But I'm not trying to take away from Judkins, right? I think Judkins is going to be very good in this game. But yeah, I think having that defense is going to be very, very helpful for Gabriel's to not feel as stressed and as pressured while he's playing. And again, he's got a lot of benefits, right? Judkins to hand the ball off to if he ever has to. You've got Fannin and Njoku capable of doing just easy, simple dump-off routes. And you've got a good defense behind you to help your mistakes cost less than they might on any other team. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think he's going to do amazing, but I don't think he's going to do bad. I mean, we see what the bar is set at with Flacco, right? We've seen the bar. He just has to get better than that, and I don't think that's very hard. And so finally, before we wrap it up here, I'll do my score predictions. So I'm going to project another win for the Browns. I know I was wrong last week, but I'm going to predict for the Browns. I'm going to say Let's do 24-17 Browns. I say the Browns offense, Dylan Gabriel's. I don't even think Dylan Gabriel's has to do bad. I said in the Thursday podcast, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's a good game from him. I mean, right? I mean, you look at Joe Flacco, he's getting 170 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, right? You're already 40 or 50 yards better than Flacco. You're a whole touchdown better, and you're 1 less interception better. So, yes, I think Browns win 24-17. I think Dylan Gabriel's will have an okay game. Won't be anything amazing. I say probably 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Nothing insane, but again, I think it'll be better than Flacco. I think he'll look good. I think this defense will look amazing. I think Carson Wentz will have a horrible day. I think he'll just get destroyed. But yeah, 24-17 is the score I will be predicting for the Browns. And so that's all I really have for you guys. I hope everyone enjoys the 2 a.m. it feels like football game. I mean, if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, I mean, I think it's like 5 or 6 a.m. for when the game starts. It's only 8:30 for here, so I'll be awake by then for sure. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the game, or I hope everyone will enjoy the game. I hope everyone enjoyed the podcast, and I will talk to you guys on Wednesday for our recap of the game in London. Go Browns, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.